So today, we have the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, taking on the God of War, Kratos. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, let's talk about Kratos first. He's incredibly strong, really one of the strongest beings in all of pop culture, up there with the likes of like Superman and Hulk. I could give y'all an entire list of feats he's done, like casually lifting up at temples, killing much of the Greek gods like Zeus, Ares, etc., as well as overpowering Thor and killing Baldur. But there's only two feats that I really want to focus on. Firstly, he overpowered Atlas, a titan that was 1,600 feet tall and was tasked with holding up the weights of the cosmos for all eternity. This means Kratos could do that as well, as he overpowered him. Secondly, Kratos overpowered and killed Kronos, the Titan leader that had overpowered the creator of the universe, a being so powerful that he could fight the primordials that created the universe, that is, God of War, and Kratos overpowered and killed him. Look at this. Look how big he is, and just overpowered him with ease. This means Kratos can overpower the primordial deities as well. That's universal and essentially limitless strength. He's tanked falling out of the sky, a town-sized explosion, and a volcanic eruption that destroyed Atlantis, as well as a slap from Kronos, all just fine. He's continued on fighting after a beating from Baldur, shot in the chest by an electrified arrow and removing it, being impaled with a large rock through the pelvis and removing it, and massive amounts of electricity. He even survived Zeus's massive lightning strike, which was able to push back and hurt Gaia, as well as being impaled with the blade of Olympus. His ability to just tank damage is simply insane. It's almost as if pain fuels him and keeps him going. He's casually dodged arrows even from behind, striked opponents repeatedly at blurring speeds, and he was even able to react to and defeat a teleporting time traveler. He also moves and fights with great mobility and agility as well. Speaking of, Kratos spent his entire life as a warrior, which is at least 1,200 years of experience, training and fighting as a Spartan. He then became the new god of war after killing Ares. He's proficient in pancration, which is a combo of ancient Greek grappling, wrestling, and boxing. He's also a master armed combatant, but his fighting style is best described as direct, straightforward, and unrelenting, fueled by his physical strength and unbridled rage. He killed most of the Greek pantheon, including Zeus, Ares, and Poseidon, which are the big three, as well as Hades. He killed Baldur, who was a brutal god who didn't feel pain. He also bested Thor. He's also fought in countless wars, battles, and has slain several monsters, including a massive Hydra. He also has several magical weapons and trinkets on him. The Guardian Shield is a magical retractable shield that's blocked fireballs, magic shockwaves, and physical hits from Baldur. The Leviathan Axe is his primary weapon. It has ice abilities due to the ice runes on it, and will return to him when he calls for it, a lot like Mjolnir does for Thor. This thing can cut through rock and stone and instantly freeze foes. He also carries the Blades of Chaos, which are a set of chained blades that he's kind of famous for, and they were forged in the underworld and are imbued in never-ending fire magic. The chains can extend for several meters, allowing fluid and powerful attack patterns and combos. The flames have blasted apart stone, and he can send explosions through the chains as well. The last thing I want to mention is his Spartan Rage. It's a berserker rage of godly power he can enter during the stress of battle. It amplifies his strength, speed, sets his fist on fire, and slowly heals him over time. That is the god of war, Kratos. But what about Sun Wukong, the Monkey King? He was born from a magical stone formed from chaos itself. He lived among other monkeys on the mountain of flowers and fruit, and after a while he became their king. However, he wasn't content with this, as he feared death, so he left, seeking immortality. And while he did achieve this, he also gained several other powers and abilities. More on that later, though. He's actually gained several layers of immortality to really hammer in the fact that he can't die. He's eaten an entire garden's worth of heavenly peaches, which one grants immortality. He's also crossed out his name from the book of death. And apparently death can't just rewrite his name or whatever, so he can't die. Or at least death can't take him. So that truly seals the deal there. And along with all this immortality going on, he also has essentially every power you can think of. This is because he can copy his opponent's powers permanently. He can shift into anything, living or non-living, which means he could be a bird or he could be playing prop hunt. Who knows? He can create anything he wants. He's only limited by his imagination, which is very active and wild. He can turn every single strain of his hair into a clone of himself that is equal in power. And he has 84,000 strains of hair on his body. He can also cut each of his hairs in half to make even more equally powerful clones, which would be 168,000. So in an instant, he can just summon an army of clones to fight his foes. That's not the only thing he can do, though. He can also turn his hairs into anything, really, like clones of his enemies. This makes him nearly impossible to beat. His weapon is the Ruri Jingu Bang, a golden magical staff that's indestructible, can change in size from the size of a needle to 20 feet or longer. It can fly, make copies of itself, and it weighs 17,550 pounds. Meaning Sun Wukong is very strong, seeing that he uses it just like one of us could use a bow staff. He's an incredibly skilled fighter, as he's a master of Kung Fu, primarily using the monkey style of Kung Fu, which focuses on acrobatics and quick and powerful strikes, as well as evasion. He's strong enough to easily carry 2 massive mountains on his shoulders while running, and to leap 34,000 miles in one somersault. He can also travel at least 279,600 miles per hour. With all his powers and skills, he's defeated countless gods, some of which were the most powerful in all of existence, as well as single-handedly beat heaven's entire army. The guy has even lifted the entire Milky Way galaxy, which weighs infinitely in this mythos. When he entered the incomplete nirvana, he wasn't bound by anything anymore, not physicality, gravity, reality, or limitations. And when he confronted the Buddha for the second time, he transcended into the complete nirvana, becoming the most powerful being in all of existence, a true outer versal being. He's above life and death, and is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. So, who wins? So in the God of War universe, everything was created by the primordials. I mean, the power of one of their punches caused the Big Bang. One of these was Gaia, Mother Earth herself, and Kratos killed her and the God King Zeus at the same time. He also killed Thanatos, another primordial being, who was the personification of death, and who had created his own dimension. And it was this victory that everyone else started to realize the threat that was Kratos, and being like, shit, he coming for us, you know? And that's like a direct quote, what Zeus said. And then there's when he fought the Titan Atlas, the strongest Titan out there, as he literally lifted the infinite weight of the cosmos for all eternity, and he could not overpower Kratos. Kratos proved to have essentially limitless strength during his fight with Atlas. And Kratos beat him. Kratos also beat Kronos, the king of the Titans, the embodiment of time, in which this Titan, Kronos, also defeated the primordial embodiment of the universe. And yet, Kratos still gave him the same treatment as Atlas and killed him. And then comes in the gods. We know he killed most of the Greek pantheon, but let's briefly talk about the big three, right? Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. Hades was the third most powerful god out there, and his power works like this. The more souls he devoured, the more powerful he got. He even devoured Atlas's soul centuries before Hades fought Kratos. This means Kratos killed a more powerful Hades than the Hades that had beaten Atlas. Hades couldn't devour Kratos' soul, and actually the vice versa happened, making Kratos even more powerful. And while we don't know much about Poseidon, we do know he was the second most powerful god and could literally one-shot titans. And then there's Zeus, the god king. His anger could shake the universe. One lightning bolt nearly killed Gaia. He created the Blades of Olympus, the most powerful weapon in the universe, and he used it to obliterate the Titans. And he even survived being stabbed with this sword twice. And guess what? Kratos killed him all the same. He treated the Norse pantheon the same way as well. He bested Thor, who could shatter realms by splintering Yggdrasil, as well as Odin, who created all of the realms and universes. All of this tells us that Kratos has consistently beat and killed universal and multiversal beings most of his life. He is a true god killer, and there's nothing out there that he can't kill. And I think the next game hinted at him going into the Egyptian pantheon, and I guarantee it, he's probably going to treat them all the same. His rage is just unending. His power is essentially limitless, and he is skilled, and he is just a skilled, brutal, savage, angry warrior god, man. That is Kratos, the god of war. However, Sun Wukong specializes in not dying. Call me crazy, probably has something to do with all those layers of immortality he has. I think this could be a really good fight if Sun Wukong actually wanted to fight him one-on-one. Thing is, though, while he is likely to do that, he does like to fight or whatever, he's also just as likely to summon 84,000 clones of himself to fight instead. Sit back and just watch while eating some snacks. He's literally just as likely to do that. And I'm telling you right now, Kratos isn't winning this fight. But D-Man, you just explained in great detail how Kratos has consistently beat and killed universal and multiversal beings. Yeah, I did. One at a time, not all at once. And even if Sun Wukong wanted to fight him one-on-one, Sun Wukong would still win, because he is not a universal being. He is not a multiversal being. He is simply an outer-versal being, far beyond anything Kratos has ever faced before. He is simply more powerful and can do whatever the he wants, okay? Sun Wukong is a god Kratos cannot kill. He just can't. Sun Wukong is that much more powerful than him. He is outer-versal. He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. And that is just something Kratos has never fought and cannot beat. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, wins. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. My social medias will be down in the description, and I will be uploading this video to my TikTok in a few days. Just kind of running out of time today, and I won't be able to do it today. But if you want to watch it on my TikTok, it should be up there sometime next week. But anyways, all the great stuff. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!